Good morning, good afternoon, depending where you're at. Happy Friday. It's Friday no matter where you're at, unless you're watching this on replay. Thank you for checking me out. Thanks for coming to my Facebook Live, my daily Facebook Live. I'll tell you, I thought I was going to talk about the Housing Wires IMB Summit again today. Yesterday I talked about LO free agency, and I had a topic teed up related to the Housing Wires Summit. I'll cover a couple more topics in the next couple days, but I'm compelled to take a break from that because I came across an article yesterday in FastWire titled "How to Be Irreplaceable in the Era of AI." It was by Stephanie Vaza, and I just love the article. And I'm moving to the front of the line. We're going to go front of the line now and talk about how to be irreplaceable in the era of AI. And as I read through this article, it reminded me of a couple of other content pieces that I've covered here and in LinkedIn. And by the way, I did a write-up on this article in LinkedIn this morning, so you can go to my LinkedIn, read a quick summary, and then you can click through and go straight to the article. So I put a link there in LinkedIn. I also try to put a LinkedIn in the notes here, so hopefully you can go either way. But when I read the article, it reminded me of a couple other pieces. One, a mortgage coach podcast that Dave Savage did with Steve Brown, the futurist, the bald futurist. And then another one of an article I featured in a Facebook Live a few weeks ago, which is the Illiterate of the 21st Century by Eli Amdor from Forbes. So I'm going to talk about this article, but then I'll intertwine Steve Brown and the Illiterate of the 21st Century as we go. So how does that sound? Here's the thing. Here's the article. The article starts out by saying, according to a study from EY, I'm not sure what EY is. I tried to click through, but I couldn't find it. According to a study from EY, 3/4 of workers are concerned that AI will make jobs obsolete, and 2/3 are specifically concerned that their job will be eliminated by AI. So 2/3 of us think AI is going to replace us. Isn't that a scary thing? And so the whole premise of the article was, well, here's how come that's not going to happen. And the article largely quotes and uses material from Pascal Bornet. And Pascal is, among other things, he wrote a best-selling book called Irreplaceable, The Art of Standing Out in the Age of Artificial Intelligence. And he was leader of AI and automation at McKinsey, Ernst & Young. So the guy's pretty solid resume. And his whole point is AI is built for people, and that without, the value is towards humans, not away from humans, which is an interesting concept. And what Bernays says is you have to embrace and implement 3 ready competencies to thrive in the future. Now, this is where I'll take a quick break and go to Steve Brown. I put a link to that Mortgage Coach podcast. That was great. I think Dave's had him on the Mortgage Coach podcast now 10 times. I know he's also shared the stage with him at different conferences. But I've seen Steve speak a couple times in person, and I have, of course, followed him. But in the podcast from 4 months ago, I really liked some of the terms and thoughts that Steve brought up. And one was, for the longest time, and you guys will remember, Steve was a futurist. He was the lead futurist at Intel before going on to be the lead internal futurist at DeepMind and Microsoft. So another really, decorated, person in the industry. So Steve was on there with Dave, and for the longest time, it used to be, if you were in retail, your slogan was "Do what Amazon can't," or "Do what Amazon doesn't do." But it was really "Do what Amazon can't," right? DWAC. And when Dave asked him, well, how would you apply that same concept today in the world of AI? And Steve answered by, do what AI can't. That's how he answered it. Do what AI can't. All right? And so if you're looking at it, what can't AI do? Well, you know what? It can't be a human. That's the whole point. In today's world, and by the way, in colleges, the degrees are shifting back to the humanities, right? Because the value in the future is being human, right? And so, kids are no longer necessarily becoming CPAs or becoming coders or doing these things that AI will easily be able to do in the future. And instead, they're studying how to be more human, right? How to reason and logic and philosophy and psychology, things that AI can't do. So the way to win in the AI world according to Steve, is just do what AI can't be, which is just be human. And so this article by from Stephanie, where she's really just quoting Bernays, is about, here are the 3 competencies. The number 1 competency, be human ready. Be human, right? In the world of AI, be human. And some human, and what Bernays says, some human abilities such as personality, life story, emotion, authenticity are uniquely humans, and no technology can replace them. They're called humics, by the way, Humics. That's what it is to be human, these traits that only humans have. And so the idea is to become more human, right? No one can better understand a human than another human, right? Nobody can create the connection, the empathy, can communicate. Now, it seems like ChatGPT is talking to you, but ChatGPT isn't talking to you at all. It's just doing probabilities. What is the best word next, or the best letter next? That's all it's doing. It's a logarithm. What word best fits next? And there's no emotion to it. It's so funny. As I was getting ready, to post my my LinkedIn post on this topic yesterday, and I was getting ready for my live notes, I uploaded them to ChatGPT, and I said, "Hey, Chat, what do you think? What do you think about this AI thing?" And I had this emotion in me that I was going to offend ChatGPT. Like, Chat, what do you think about AI? And the truth is, AI doesn't have an emotion. It doesn't care. All it's trying to figure out is what word goes here, what word goes after that, what word goes after that. There's no emotion. There's no human to it. I can't offend ChatGPT. But being human, I was worried about offending the machine. Like, how dumb is that, right? And so when you got to understand that Chat is just giving you, predictive, probabilistic analysis of what word goes next. And it needs a human to put texture to that, to put understanding, to put connection, right? And so the first thing is be human, right? That makes sense. And we should all excel at being human. The second thing is be AI ready. And I'm going to go back to this. Several people have said this, and Steve Brown certainly said this. AI will not replace humans. Humans using AI will replace humans not using AI. And you can just expand that, because people put all technology under this, label of AI. People who use technology will replace people who do not use technology. But technology will not replace people, if that makes sense, right? And so what the idea is, in the future, it's not about technology replacing you. It's about you leveraging technology, leveraging automation and augmentation to increase your capabilities, right? This technology and AI isn't there to outsmart you. It's there to assist you, right? Providing more efficiency and value and balance, more output, more production, right? And here's how you think it. So if you were a ditch digger and you were, tasked with digging a ditch, and you've done your whole life with a shovel, and then, out comes the tractor with the backhoe, if you learn how to use the tractor, you're going to be infinitely more valuable than the person digging with a shovel, right? Because you'll be able to dig a lot better, faster, deeper ditches, right? And so the idea is you learn the technology and you become better. It's the same thing with AI or any technology. If you learn it and you adopt it and you deploy it, right, then you become all that much more valuable. And in this section of AI Ready, the author goes in, it's about being tech savvy. It's not about being tech savvy, it's about being tech wise. And what that has to do with is that, with any technology, you can use it for good or you can use it for bad, right? AI has some downfalls to it. It may not be fully ethical. It may create addictions, or it may create biases, or it could be used for bad. So you have to not only use tech, but you have to know how to use it wisely. So be tech wise, not tech savvy. And then the last part is, in this article, is you have to be change ready. So change ready, and this is, by the way, it's almost it seems to me, quoting word for word from Alvin Toffler. And remember his quote, which I covered in Facebook a few weeks ago, is the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn, right? And as I mentioned, now it republished in a article in Forbes the illiterate of the 21st century. And what that really means is the new illiteracy isn't the ability to read or write, it's the ability to adapt to change. It's the ability to adopt change and to use change, right? And so the third, core competency in the article that we're talking about today is change ready. And part of this is the author, or it was Barnett, that predicted that in the next 10 years, we'll see as many technological innovations as we've seen in the last century. So the speed of change is accelerating, and it's not every 3 years now. It's not doubling every 3 years. It's doubling every year. It's speeding up, right? And so the critical competency we need is how to understand the change, learn to change, adopt and adapt, right? And so it's they use the very words. The master the cycle of learning, unlearning, and relearning, which is exactly a quote from Toffler, right? And in this, the author also, states, look, the lifespan of our skills has to decrease dramatically over 3 decades, and it continues to shrink. That means is that if I was proficient in my HP 12C, right? When I was a loan officer and I came out, you had to be proficient in your HP 12C. By the way, God bless the HP 12C. I still love them, still use it, by the way. But you had to be proficient in HP 12C. Loan officers today, they've never used this. Matter of fact, loan officers today, I read some statistic where something like 86% of them have never calculated income calculated payment other than put it into a computer, other than put it into the origination system, in their POS system. So this skill right now, its lifespan is past. You don't need to know how to use the HP 12C. That's an example of our lifespan on a skill. Now I'm using a simplistic example, but whatever we mastered, right? Whatever we mastered, that skill has a shorter and shorter lifespan, which means we have to continue to upgrade and change our skills to meet the times. I think that's a pretty interesting topic. So that was that's how to be irreplaceable in the era of AI. The 3 things are: be human ready, just be human. The second one is be AI ready. And the third one is be change ready. So human, AI, and change ready. And you just got to remember, the technology there is to make you a better person, a more productive person. It's not to replace you, it's to enhance you, but you have to learn how to use it to be enhanced. And that's the topic today. You're not going to be replaced. You're not going to be replaced by technology if you make technology, your weapon, your tool. You use it for your benefit to make you more productive, make you more valuable, and it will only promote you, not replace you. But if you have to compete against somebody that embraces that technology and leverages that technology, then you're going to be more expensive and less productive and less relevant. You'll be replaced by that person, but not by the technology. So all in all, good news. It's Friday. I hope everybody had a good week. I appreciate you guys checking out my Facebook Live. I'll be back tomorrow. I think I'm going to go back tomorrow and maybe talk about one of the topics from the Housing Wire Summit. And then Sunday, Book Club Sunday. I'm working on that book. I'm trying to get through the book of the week this week. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you're going to have a great weekend. Now's the harvesting time. Keep pounding those phones. Some of our clients, some of our referral partners are most available on the weekends. Don't give up your weekends. Now's the time to harvest. Call your clients, call your past clients, call on real estate agents, call on your referral partners, work through the weekends. The work you put through here will not only help you fill some of the gap you may be having from your income this year, but set you up for a good income next year. With that, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much. Have a great day.